on the left side to give the ball to Amari Williams. He's going to be pushed back, and let's see if he's not going to get the first down. Maybe, though.
The forward
he got a
progress,
good spot. He got a very good spot.
The forward progress is right at the 50, and the official on our sideline, on the Hoover sideline, is signaling 1. So they're going to give Hoover a first down.
That's a good spot for the Bucs. I didn't think he got there. Thompson didn't either. But the Bucs have the first down.
It was just how violently they pushed him back once the pile started moving, because he ended up about 6 to 7 yards behind that first down marker. But all you got to do is just where that forward progress ends.
So first down right at midfield. Ball just a smidgen inside the near hash mark. Running play left side. He got a yard, diving across the 50 to the 49-yard line.
Yeah, that was Kamal Amerson in the game at running back, giving Amari Williams a spell.
So only a 1-yard pickup. Second down and 9 coming up. And here's R.J. Hamilton checking into the game as a receiver as Peters comes off.
Hoover in a heavy set with 2 tight ends in the game.
From the 49-yard line of Thompson. I don't know why they're playing music. Here is a pass play coming up. Zoomed it into the hands of K.J. Law for a first down. K.J. at the 37 of Thompson.
Yeah, nice little spot route. K.J. was the guy coming in jet motion from right to left from the Thompson sideline toward the Hoover sideline. So they get him in motion, and he gets over the ball in the middle of the field, sets it down at about 10 to 12 yards, and Meredith with a nice strike across. In coverage was Tony Mitchell, who is probably the highest-rated player on the Thompson roster. 24/7 Sports has him as the number 11 player in the class of 2023. So he is an elite athlete, and you don't see many people throwing at him, but Hoover does successfully on that play.
Sky Niblett to the right side of the tight end. They give the ball to Amari Williams, who just came back in, pushes it across the 35, and he may be stacked up there for a pickup of 2 yards. So second down and about 8 yards coming up for the Bucs. 8:40 to play here in the first half. Thompson leading by a score of 7-3. 3 receivers on the near side. That's the wide side of the field. That's R.J. Hamilton. He's the one closest to the line of scrimmage. They look right. Meredith's going to run, and he's hit from behind. And he gets to the 33-yard line. He needs to get all the way down to the 27 to pick up the first down. And you can see the defender trying not only to tackle him, but to try to strip that ball away from him.
Yeah, and kind of a play that ends up being busted. Not a total bust, but just Meredith didn't have what he wanted, and the pressure started getting to him. So nice job of even picking up any positive yardage. And so now Hoover with this 3rd and 6. Again, we keep throwing the phrase out. They probably are thinking they have 2 downs to pick this 6 yards up.
4th down and 6 from the 33-yard line. Meredith will look the pass in. He gets it away. The leaping grab at the 20-yard line for a first down. What a catch that was by Cotton Peters.
A senior captain, Cott Peters. And, man, he's going to get a lot of love from the sideline as he comes off the field. What a tough catch with the defender draped all over his back. He goes and boxes him out like a basketball player, pulls it down. Huge first down for Hoover.
And Meredith never saw it because he was on his back. He was buried by the defense. Here's another play, and he throws it at the feet of R.J. Hamilton for an incomplete pass, and bearing down on him was number 7, Jeremiah Alexander, and he is a good one.
Yeah, that was a trying to set up a tunnel screen to R.J. So Hoover started with quads to the right, 4 receivers. They motioned R.J. all the way back across to the left where he was by himself. Thompson wasn't fooled. They knew that R.J. is the man in this offense that Hoover likes to try to get the football to, and they defended that tunnel screen exceptionally well. They got into the passing lanes. Nice play by Meredith just to get the ball spiked at R.J.'s feet and no loss.
So second down and 10. 7:11 to play in the half. They come after him again. He throws to the end zone. It's incomplete, but a flag and an interference call.
There's a couple of flags. One was thrown by the back judge early, and then one was thrown by the line judge on Thompson's side late. But they look like they agree on their call. I think they're going to be able to get interference like early in the route and late in the route.
The pass was intended for R.J. Hamilton. The holding penalty, a pass interference call. It's going to be a first down for the Bucks.
Yeah, and it should be a half the distance because that's a 15-yard penalty. Yeah, they're going to spot it on the 10.
So the Bucks have the ball inside the red zone again. The ball is at the Thompson 10-yard line, and Hoover looking to regain the lead. They led 3-0. They trail 7-3. We have 7:04 remaining here in the half. Amari Williams back in at the running back's position. Man in motion is McCammon. And now he's back the other way. You give the ball to Williams. He is going to be hit. And now he breaks off the tackle, trying to get to the outside. And he goes out of bounds about the 12-yard line, saving himself about a 3-yard loss. Still going to lose 2 yards back to the 12.
Yeah, and that time, 2 Thompson defenders caused whiffs on the offensive line and just got immediate pressure in Amari Williams' face. They faked a jet from left to right to number 11, Lamarian McCammon, and that was just kind of eye candy to hand the ball off to Amari, but the defensive line won that battle, and they knocked the Bucks back a couple of yards.
It is 2nd and goal from the 13-yard line. And false start.
Yeah, everybody went but the center.
So that cost them 5 more yards. And it brings up 2nd and goal from the 18-yard line as we're under 7 minutes to play here in the half. This crowd still coming in. They're backed up out on Stadium Parkway. So the ball at the 18 of Thompson. 2nd down and 18. 2nd down and goal from the 18. Here's Meredith going to the end zone. Got a man wide open. Caught. Touchdown. Buccaneers. Caught by Jabari Gaines, the tight end, and the Bucks go on top again. They lead it now by a score of 9-7.
Yeah, busted coverage that time by Thompson. They left Jabari Gaines, the senior tight end, running a seam route straight down the middle of the field, where he was on the numbers on the left side, and he just ran straight through that side of the defense untouched. Meredith throws the ball up. Nice throw, nice catch, easy touchdown, and the Bucks regain the lead.
And the point after by Argent is good, and the Bucks lead by a score of 10-7. And what a soft toss it was. He just laid it into his hands, and it had to be a pretty good catch, though.
Well, and he saw the coverage, so he saw that that Gaines was wide open, just running scot-free, and then he also was feeling the pass rush in his face, so he had to deliver the ball a little earlier than he probably wanted to, and because of that, he had to lay it up a little bit more. But a really nice throw and a really nice catch, and what a drive by Hoover to answer that Thompson touchdown.
So that was a 9-play, and it says 51 yards. That's not right. They started – where do they start that drive? It was longer
on
than 51.
The 24, so it was a 76-yard drive.
Thank you for the quick math. As Nick had indicated, the high score against Thompson was 9 points by Hewitt-Trussville and a 42-9 win. The Bucks have put 10 on the board, and they lead it again by a score of 10-7 as two teams have traded leads here. Both teams getting on the board here in the second quarter. The Bucks led 3-0 after 1. Here's a kickoff that will go into the end zone. That's more like it.
No games this time, just kicking it deep.
And it comes out to the 20-yard line. So an 80-yard field for the Warriors. You know, there used to be a time throughout all of the early 2000s when, and this was my theory, is that when teams played Hoover, they hoped they could win. When they played Vestavia, when Vestavia was still doing really well, Vestavia knew they could win. They just had to go out and perform. My opinion this year is that everybody who played Thompson hoped they could win. Hoover believes they could win. And so that's the difference in all the other teams that Thompson has played this season. And we've got a timeout called here.
Timeout by Thompson.
By Thompson with 6:49 remaining in the first half. Thompson band is getting ready to come out on the field. They'll perform their routine. The Bucks will do their routine. A lot of people still coming in. They've missed virtually the entire first half, and it's been a very thrilling first half. Just about what we expected, Nick.
Yeah, and you couldn't ask for much more if you're Hoover. They have long, sustained drives. They are making Thompson's defense work. They are making them defend a lot of plays, hopefully wearing them down as the game goes. And then they are also keeping the explosive offense on the sideline.
Another big game tonight will determine who gets the 3rd and 4th seed out of Region 3, and that is the game that features Hewitt-Trussville at Oak Mountain. Nick is checking the Twitter to see if he can get some updates on scores. In the meantime, Thompson back on the field, and the Bucks stop the running back for a loss. He will get thrown for about a 2-yard loss back to the 18-yard line. He ended up all the way back inside the 10, but his progress was stopped at the 18. So it'll be a loss of 2, perhaps 3 on the play. 2nd down and a long 12 coming up. And check off, look to the side. Connor Harrell, the quarterback. And he has Sims to his left, 2 receivers to the wide side. Play action. They look to the right, they throw that way, and it's caught out here by Van Sant. And that's not Van Sant. Van Sant's a defensive player.
Yeah, we don't have a 12 on offense on our roster.
Well, let me check the other roster. That's going to be Deuce Oliver.
On your feet, Hoover fans. 3rd down. Let's make some noise.
And he had been wearing 84. That's why we don't have him. But that's Deuce Oliver who made the catch. And a pickup of nearly 9 yards. It's 3rd down and 2. Another big 3rd down play coming up here for the Hoover defense. Running play. He's going to run for the 1st down across the 30 to the 32-yard line. Pegues, who also doubles up as a running, sort of like McCammon. He does double duty as a receiver and a running back.
Yeah, and he's a guy that I think he is their 3rd leading receiver this year after Pepins and Jalen Ward.
Pegues is in the backfield now. 1st and 10. Here is Harold dropping back, heavy pursuit. He's going to run it, and he's going to be tackled up high and out of bounds, but he didn't gain anything. He's out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage. He was heading for the far sideline. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, and that was a very high tackle. I thought that they might get the Bucks with a face mask with getting that hand up there in the helmet area.
Ball at the Thompson 33-yard line. Jalen Ward wide to the right. Sims, they've moved out as a receiver. Now an empty backfield. Harrell looks to his right. Now he throws over the middle. Got a man. It's going to be dropped. Incomplete.
Wow.
Jalen Ward had it in his hands and could not hold on. Back there defensively with him was Jay Avery.
Yeah, and he got past Avery early in the route and got my attention because I saw him reach his hand up in the air, and as he was running, waving his hand, which is usually something as a receiver you don't want to do.
On third down, Thompson 1 out of 2. 4 minutes, 35 seconds remaining in the half. Hoover leading by a score of 10-7. Ball on the far hash mark. And another timeout called by Thompson. That's their second of the half with 4:35 to play.
Whew. What a game so far.
It is a good game. This is the best game of the season so far, and we expected nothing less.
And there hasn't been a lot of fireworks. It's just every play feels like there's just, doused in so much tension. Oh, man, what a game.
It's playoff football, basically.
Absolutely.
What it is. And it's a championship game because the winner is a champion of Region 3. Sort of like in baseball, every pitch in the playoffs is so important and crucial, and this is the same thing here. Every possession, every snap means something. It could be a turnover or it could be a touchdown.
Yeah, this is just an incredible atmosphere. Even, you said it could be a touchdown, could be a turnover. Even a 2-yard run feels like a big play because, you're like, oh, man, they tackled them. Like, that was such a hard tackle. And just watching these two teams tee off on each other, it's been so much fun so far.
Well, they're only allowing less than 3 points per ball game, so you figure any offense you put up on the board is a plus.
Absolutely. Try to find Pepins. I think he's in the slot to the right. Empty formation.
3 receivers to the wide side of the field. Harrell looks over the middle and throws, and it's caught, and he walks the tightrope for a first down and is pushed out of bounds in Hoover territory at the 47-yard line.
What an incredible throw by Connor Harrell and an incredible catch by Pegues on the sideline. As Jeff said, gets both feet in bounds, stays in bounds, and is able to gain even 3 or 4 more yards after. There was a tight window there. It was good coverage by Hoover. Just an incredible throw.
So first down, 1st and 10, 4:25 to play in the half. Hoover leads it by a score of 10-7. Harrell directing some traffic over here. Now he lines up behind the center, 5, 4, 3. He's not happy, I don't think, with the way they were lined up. He's going to roll to his right and throw across field. It's going to be caught out there by Ward for a first down at the 32-yard line.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that they do so well is they exploit the field, all 53 1/3 yards horizontally, and Harrell has an arm strong enough to make any throw. That time he's rolling to his right, and he throws back across the middle. Such a strong arm, and they can exploit any zone on the field. 3
receivers to the right side again.
Pepins is isolated up at the top of your screen to the left of the Thompson offense, the single receiver.
Man in motion, and Harrell will look to throw. Goes to the end zone, got a step, got a ball, got it caught, got a touchdown.
Yeah, and they picked on Jay Avery again over the top. One of their receivers on a safety. Nice throw by Harrell. The key was that 3rd down throw that he threw to Pegues to extend the drive. And then from that point forward, he just showed off his arm talent on 2 straight passes and made it look easy.
Deuce Oliver was the man who caught the pass. And now they've regained the lead at 13-10 with 3:41 remaining. And the point after is good. So make it a 14-10 ball game.
Thompson extra point is good. Your score, Thompson 14.
That was an 80-yard drive, 8 plays, 2 minutes and 59 seconds, the time of possession. And Thompson back on top, 14-10. Big plays. And they have so many different weapons they can go to. The catch by Pegues was a big play on that drive.
Yeah, it was 3rd and 10, and he catches the ball for about a 14-yard gain, or he catches the ball at about 14 yards and then gets 3 or 4 more after the play. But it was the throw by Harrell into the tight window on the sideline, and then the catch by Pegues in very tight coverage.
It almost looked like it went through somebody.
Yeah.
That was how tight it was. So they'll kick the ball off. Well, they did not kick it into the end zone the 2 times that they have kicked. So we'll see whether or not the Bucs can get a run back. This time Williams is on the near side. And they do have Woolens in there, and he is to the far side as we look at things, and they're going to squib it. And somebody needs a fall on it, and the Bucks do fall on it at the 36-yard line.
Yeah, and Hoover will take that.
A lot of different strategies going on here by the coaches.
Well, you have to be strategic when you cannot kick it into the end zone, and Thompson can't. So now they're going to have to do different things because you've seen Amari Williams run one back. You've seen Jordan Woolen run one back. Lamarian McCammon is very dangerous back deep. So they're trying to keep the ball away from those deep men for Hoover. Oak Mountain leads Hewitt 7-0 at the end of the first quarter. And quarterback Evan Smith is not playing for Oak Mountain tonight.
3:49 remaining in the half. Bennett Meredith sends a man back toward the line. That is R.J. Hamilton, going to fake to the running back throw, and it's behind, intended for Hamilton, incomplete.
Yeah, and that did not look good coming across the line of scrimmage. And usually Bennett throws a dart, so I wonder if maybe Jeremiah Alexander or one of those D linemen got their hand on that ball because it really didn't have any zip on it as it was going out toward the flat area.
Clock stops with 3:46 remaining in the half. Thompson will get the ball to start the second half. Here's a pass, and off the hands of the intended receiver, McCammon. Or is that Woolen? Who is that?
Law.
That's Law.
Yeah, he took a big hit at the end of that, too, from Tony Mitchell, who's playing safety. He was been a cornerback since he was a freshman at Thompson, his freshman and sophomore season. Tonight he's playing deep safety.
So another big third down coming up for the Bucks. They are 2 out of 5 on third down opportunities. 3:42 left in the half, 14-10 in favor of the Warriors of Thompson. It's number 1 against number 2 in the state of Alabama. And a timeout called by Hoover, their first of the evening. So third down and 10.
A confident smile is a game changer.
Bucks jumped out in front by a score of 3-0. Thompson came back and scored to a touchdown to go up 7-3. The Bucks then scored to go up 10-7. And now a touchdown by Thompson has made it a 14-10 game.
And as big as that third down conversion was for Thompson on the last drive, Hoover needs a similar conversion here, also facing 3rd and 10. It's about the same area of the field. And just because of the way this game has gone, Hoover's going to have to probably gain 8 to 9 yards to think about going for it on 4th down here. So really, I mean, they just need to pick this up, this 3rd and 10. Obviously, that's a difficult task against this defense. They need to protect, find a zone, maybe hit a pass that is in the 10 to 15-yard range, but it's going to have to be something that comes pretty quick. We'll see if Thompson decides to dial up pressure or if they just rely on the pass rush with their front four. Looks like they're going to have a bunch of guys on the line of scrimmage bringing pressure. Looks like man coverage behind it.
Meredith, two-step drop, flushed out of the pocket, throws the screen. It's going to be caught at the 38. It's going to be well short of the first down, caught by Hamilton.
Yeah, and Hoover will probably be forced to punt. They only gained about 3 yards on that little underneath route. Meredith had to deliver the ball to the underneath man very short of the line to gain because he got immediate pressure just straight up the middle in his face. Good blitz that time by Thompson, getting pressure, forcing that early delivery, and messing with the timing of the play for Hoover.
So the Bucks will send Argent out to punt. And Pegues is back at his own 25-yard line. This is the first punt of the game. 3 men back to protect. They do not come after him. Kicks it high, not that deep. And it's going to take a Hoover roll inside the 20 and goes out of bounds between the 19 and 20-yard line. They're going to spot it at the 20. So Thompson has a chance to, quote-unquote, break serve here as they did. The Bucks didn't score, and they have a chance to now go down and put back-to-back scores on the board with 2:47 to play in the half. They lead the Bucks by a score of 14-10.
Yeah, this offensive possession by Thompson, this defensive stand by Hoover is a pivotal point in this game. This is at the end of the game where we could be looking back and say, hey, here, this is one reason why Hoover won it, or this is one reason why Thompson won it.
Hoover shows blitz. And then Thompson checks off. Pippin's on the right side. That's the short side of the field. 3 receivers to the wide side. They're going to put it on the ground, though, and run it across the 25 to the 28-yard line. That was Pegues, who they gave the ball off to. So he picks up 9 yards. It's 2nd down and 1.
Yeah, and their typical running back is number 34, Brandon Franklin. We really haven't seen much out of him tonight. Pegues has been the bell cow in the run game, and he's been very effective.
Sims is in the slot now. They had Sims in there earlier as the running back.
It's also worth noting that they are down to 1 timeout as the clock clicks close to 2 minutes.
2:10 to be exact, and it's rolling. Send a man in motion. Here is Harrell looking to throw down the right sideline. He caught it, caught by Ward, and he's going to go in for a touchdown. He had the ball split 2 defenders, and it was perfectly thrown and caught by Ward, and he takes it in for the touchdown.
That wasn't even a good decision. That was a bad decision by Connor Harrell. He threw that ball into double coverage. The defense was just awful by Hoover. The cornerback and the deep safety both undercut the ball, and so he throws it over everybody. Like when Harrell went to release the ball, the safety was running over the top of the route. That's like a no-no. I'm not throwing that thing. I'm going to check down to somebody else. He lets it fly anyway, throws it over everybody inexplicably, and it turns into an explosive play, and that could be the turning point of this football game.
It was a 71-yard pass play, and they're looking to go up by 11 here. The kick is up, and it is good. Makes it 21-10 with 1 minute, 55 seconds to play in the half.
Yeah, that was a dagger.
And that was only the second play of that drive.
Yep.
And they put those on the board in 52 seconds. Now, we talked about 2-for-1s, and they're trying to do the same thing here. They got back-to-back scores on back-to-back possessions, and they're going to get the ball to start the second half. So the Bucks have 1 minute 55 to work with here. They would really love to come back and get on the board.
Well, I mean, it was after that third down conversion. That may be the pivotal point of the game that we talk about later on, because after that third down conversion where they gained about 18 yards on that just tight throw by Harrell, 2 plays touchdown, 2 plays touchdown. Now they lead by double digits, and Hoover really has their back against the wall.
Again, this team only allows 3 points per ball game, and the Bucks already have 10, but they find themselves on the short end of a 21-10 score. And they're right on pace. They're averaging just under 50 points per ball game. See what the Bucks can do here on a kickoff, or let's see what Thompson will do on the kickoff. Williams is back along with Woolen. They kick it short again, and it's fallen upon at the 33-yard line, and the Bucks will have the ball with 1 minute 54 to play, trailing by a score of 21-10. They're a quick strike offense, and the Bucks can score quickly also. Let's see what they can do against this stout defense of Thompson.
Yeah, and so Hoover has just taken back-to-back haymakers, and so what kind of response can they come up with?
Meredith has Williams to his left. They've not had much success in the run game tonight. They're going to give the inside handoff to Williams, who stutter steps, and he carries people with him. Still on his feet across the 40. He dives to the 44-yard line. Needed to get to the 45 for the first down, but a good pickup on first down, and he gets a horrible spot as apparently his knee went down at the 43-yard line. So it's 2nd down and 2. Very manageable here, and let's see if they take a shot here on 2nd and 2. 3 receivers to the left side. Right end is tight. Man in motion is R.J. Hamilton to the short side of the field. Meredith fakes the handoff, looks to the right side, throws to R.J., who caught it for a first down at the 47-yard line. He needed only 2. He got 4. First down for the Bucks. 1:11 to play. Hoover has 2 timeouts left, remember. Down to 105. Three receivers to the right side, the short side, man in motion coming this way. Play action. Meredith steps up, looks and throws downfield. Got a man, and Hamilton caught it inside the 10, down at the 8-yard line.
Yeah, and that's a haymaker in the other direction now for the Bucks as the clock has gone under 50 seconds, but Hoover still with 2 timeouts.
R.J. Hamilton, good to see him back.
Welcome back, R.J. Hamilton.
Ball at the 8-yard line. The Bucks trying to get back on the scoreboard.
Yeah, still plenty of work to do.
Williams to the right. Here's a pass play coming up. Heavy blitz, and it's almost intercepted
my
at
goodness,
the 5.
he dropped it. Thank goodness.
That ball was in and out of the hands of the defender. I believe that was Van Sant.
Yeah, the inside linebacker, Van Zant. The ball hit him right in the belly. I don't think he was really expecting it either. They were trying to throw a little angle route to Amari Williams, who had gone outside to his right, put his foot in the ground, and then angled right back in toward the middle linebacker. Almost a brutal mistake for the Bucks.
Second down and goal from the 8-yard line for the Bucks. Williams in the backfield.
30 seconds on the clock.
5 on the play clock. 4, 3. They take the snap. Meredith looks to his left. Heavy rush. Throws to the end zone. Pass interference as looks like Maioa was going. Was that Maioa? Is that RJ? Yeah, RJ Hamilton. He was right at the goal line and got knocked down, pancaked.
Well, and the flag came out even before RJ went to the ground. So I think he was interfered with early in the route, and then the interference continued to the point to where he was taken to the ground.
Half a distance to the goal, puts the ball at the 4-yard line. Still second down, but now you only have 25 seconds remaining.
Yeah, Hoover sending in all the tight ends here.
Bucks still have 2 timeouts remaining, but 25 seconds on the clock.
They send in an extra offensive lineman, Reeder in the game, Niblett and Gaines.
They give it to Williams. Williams to the 1-yard line and push back, and Hoover's going to have to call a timeout.
Yeah.
They do with 17 seconds to play. It'll be third down and goal from around the 2-yard line. They're still unpiling. The ball's laying at the 5, but I'm not sure where they're going to spot it.
Looks like it's going to be at about the 2.
Yeah, I think so. So the Bucks have 1 timeout remaining, 17 seconds to play. And they'll see if they can get those 2 yards they need to push it in and make it a 21-16 ball game.
And because Hoover has 1 timeout remaining, they can call anything in the world they want to call here. They can run the ball. You know, they could call a bootleg where Meredith runs with the ball. They got anything at their disposal because if they do get tackled inbounds, they can call that last time out, and then they're still going to be able so it's third and go from the 2. So, I mean, you know, from here, you've got 2 plays to try to score a touchdown, and Hoover needs to go for a touchdown here. Field goals, I mean, it would cut it down to an 8-point game, but I know the Bucks are wanting to put 7 on the board.
From the penalty standpoint, that is the 4th penalty against Thompson for 35 yards. Hoover's been penalized 3 times for 25 here in the first half.
Yeah, and I think 3 different pass interference penalties against Thompson also.
So here we go, big play. And if they don't get in, it'll be another big play to follow. Amari Williams in the backfield. They give the ball to him. He is going to be...
He did not get it.
Stopped. And Hoover, with 11 seconds, calls timeout. And he stopped inside the 1-yard line. Inside the 1 and another timeout.
Now a very interesting decision by the Bucks coaching staff. Do you send your field goal unit out, cut this to a 1-score game, or do you try to go for touchdown? I mean, I think you got the ball on the 1-yard line. My feeling, my call here, you really can do anything you want to. My call here is probably go for the touchdown because we've seen what Thompson can do offensively. Hoover has played very well defensively, but Thompson can still score on any play.
Yeah.
So Hoover is going to have to score touchdowns to stay in and win this game. I think you keep that mindset going here. You try to score the touchdown. Go for it here. You know, run your best play, whatever you think it is. Get the ball in the end zone. and then try to cut it to a 21-17 lead with knowing that Thompson's going to get the ball coming out of halftime.
Exactly. That's what I was getting ready to say, is that you know that they're going to have an opportunity to score on the first series of the second half. So the Bucks send the offense out there, and I think everybody, including those up here in the press box, are going to be on their feet. Amari Williams in the backfield. The ball is from the 1. 4th and goal. This will be the last play of the half.
3 tight ends in the game.
They give the ball to Williams, and he is in. Touchdown.
No signal. No signal.
They haven't signaled it yet.
They are not going to give them the touchdown.
They stopped the Bucks, and we've come to the end of the first half, and Thompson will take a load of momentum into the locker room as they held out the Bucks. And now they will get the ball to start the second half. How close was that?
Yeah, that is going to be a very hotly debated call. It's just one of those where there's a massive humanity at the goal line, and you can't see either way.
I call touchdown based on Hoover raising their hands. Of course, they're automatically going to do that. But as you said, nobody signaled from the officials, and then they marked the ball short of the goal line. And so, wow, what a gut-wrenching first half this was. It was a nail-biter, a hand-wringer. And at intermission, Thompson leads it by a score of 21-10 against the Bucks. And we'll recap the scoring here as soon as we get it calculated. The Bucks drew first blood. They actually, on their first drive, threw an interception and then got the ball back on a stop on 4th and 1. And then they went down and kicked the field goal. Peyton Argent kicked a 29-yard field goal with 3:40 to play in the first quarter. And that was a 6-play, 47-yard drive that gave the Bucks the lead. And I think these distance on the drive are incorrect, so don't pay much attention to that. But then Thompson with a 22-yard pass from, actually it was a handoff to Justin Pegues, and he took it in at 11:53 of the second quarter to give them the lead at 7-3. The Bucks then came back and took the lead on a 18-yard pass to Jabari Gaines from Bennett Meredith. The extra point made it 10-7, and then the last 2 scores of the half came from Thompson. Connor Harrell with a touchdown pass, 32 yards, and our statistician said it was Bolden who caught it. That may be right. And then that was with 3:51 to play in the half. The extra point made it a 14-10 ball game, and then they tacked one on with 1:55 to play on a 71-yard pass play to Jalen Ward. And that was only on the second play of that drive, went 80 yards, and they lead it 21-10. So you're talking about a couple of different plays, Nick, that we may look back on. The play at the end of the half is as big a one that you're going to look back on and say, well, if you get in, it's 21-17 at halftime, and you're still in this thing. You're not out of it yet, but that would have been big.
Well, the flip occurred on that third down play on the drive that Thompson scored to go up 14-10. Hoover had just driven down, beautiful, great drive, score the touchdown. They go ahead 10-7. They have Thompson backed up on a 3rd and 10, and then Connor Harrell zips that pass toward the Thompson sideline. It's caught for about an 18-yard gain in very, very tight coverage. Then they have a chunk play, and then they have a touchdown pass. Then they stop Hoover on a 3-and-out. Then they have a chunk play, and then they have a 71-yard touchdown pass. And now Hoover is driving again, down by 2 scores, and the Thompson defense stands tall. And I've texted some of my buddies that are down there in that end zone watching the game, and they just said it's too close to call. And as an offense, as a running back, you can't leave it up to a referee's interpretation. You got to fall forward across the goal line into the end zone and leave absolutely no doubt. Hoover unable to do that. And now Thompson with an opportunity to come back out after halftime and maybe start putting this thing away.
It looked like there were some Hoover Bucks pushing from behind, too, which made me think that perhaps he did get across and break the plane, but they didn't get the call, and the score is 21-10 here at halftime. Connor Harrell has been one of the stars in this ball game, as you expect him to be. 8 out of 9 in the passing department for 181 yards here in the first half and 2 touchdowns. As long as was that 71-yarder. Pippins, of course, his favorite target. He's caught 3 passes for 33 yards, so they've kind of held him underneath, so he has not scored. Jalen Ward has a couple of catches for 86 yards and a touchdown. Amari Bolden has a catch for 32 yards, and that went for a touchdown. On the Hoover side, Bennett Meredith has thrown 22 passes, connected on 12 of those, had 1 intercepted, 147 yards, and he does have a touchdown. His top receiver has been R.J. Hamilton, who's caught 6 passes for 79 yards. He did throw the touchdown to Jabari Gaines, who has caught 2 passes. That was an 18-yarder. Cotton Peters has caught 2 passes for 20 yards, and Lamarion McCammon has 1 catch for 18 on the night. Been only 1 punt in this ball game, and that was by Peyton Argent. It went 42 yards with no return. And time of possession was Hoover 17 minutes and 49 seconds compared to 6:04 for Thompson. So there you go. You got to look at the total stats. We'll look at the team totals. There we go. We want to look at those. All right. So in the first half, Hoover ran 38 plays for 209 yards. Thompson 22 plays for 241 yards. For Hoover, 62 yards on the ground on 16 carries and 147 yards through the air. For Thompson, 64 yards on 13 carries, so about even on the running game, but they have 181 in the passing department, and the Bucks have the only turnover in the ball game.
Yeah, and that was a big one early on, that interception that ended a good drive by Hoover where they had taken the ball down inside the red area. So just missed opportunities for Hoover in that first half.
Do you have a halftime guest coming? Is he here?
Yeah, Jeff Allison is up here in the press box. So we're going to switch out here. We're going to have Jeff Allison come and join in the conversation where we won't just talk this Hoover-Thompson game, but we'll try to talk a little bit of everything in 7A football. So we'll get to spend some time with Jeff. We always love it when he comes down here and hangs out with us. You may know his work from checking out Alabama6afootball.com or Alabama7afootball.com, but friend of the broadcast crew, Jeff Allison, and coming to sit down and join me now. And I wanted to ask you what your viewpoint was of that last play, but I was scrolling through Twitter as Jeff was going through the scoring summary, and I saw that you took a video, so you had the same vantage point as me. And what I mentioned to Jeff was, as a running back, that's something you can't leave no doubt. You got to make sure you fall forward in the end zone. But what were your observations and just kind of your takeaways from the first half?
Well, I'm sort of surprised how well Hoover has moved the football. I mean, I think they've done a pretty good job of giving Bennett time to hang in the pocket, scramble a little bit, and throw. And that really, because I really thought that coming in that Thompson's front 7 would be an issue, that they could put a lot of pressure. And Hoover is running the football. And I'm very surprised that they're doing, but, Josh Niblett, best play caller in the state, knows what he's doing, finding some weaknesses, and he's taking advantage of them. And very surprised at that. Thompson, their game is let's throw it deep. They've been doing that all year to people. Ryan Pepins has sort of been keeping out of the fold. They've been sort of doubling him, bracketing him a little bit underneath and deep. So other guys have been going deep. Connor Harrell's one of the best deep ball throwers we have in the state.
So Jeff Lloyd and I have talked a little bit about the first half, and we just got your thoughts on the first half. So let's expand our view just a little bit and talk about the crossover region in 7A Region 4, which is the Huntsville region. You and I were texting a little bit about it today. The 4 seed is up for grabs tonight with Sparkman versus Huntsville. I haven't checked any scores or anything so far, but the 1 seed is locked in at James Clemens. Hoover fans will know that program because Hoover's faced them numerous times, and the head coach up there now is Chad McGee, who was the defensive coordinator here for the last 3 years. Have you seen James Clemens? What are your thoughts on them?
I have. Great quarterback, Gio Lopez. He's a D1 passer player, great player, left-handed guy, can really run it, throw it, combinations, puts a lot of pressure on the defense, good running back, good couple receivers. defensively, they gave up a lot of their defensive guys graduated from last year, so Chad doesn't have that depth that he wants on defense. And so they're starting to have to outscore more people this year in the conference, in the region. And that region, anyhow, to me, doesn't really play much defense anyhow.
Yeah.
So it's right up their alley where they're scoring points, outscoring people. And they're going to be a good team for that number 4 seed. But I could really see if it's, if Evan Smith is healthy, that they could really beat Clemens this year. But who knows his status.
Yeah, and we were also texting about that earlier tonight. Evan Smith not playing so far. We can talk about that game a little bit later. Quick summary, quick wrap-up on Bob Jones. Have you seen them play this year? What do you know about Bob Jones?
Yeah, Bob Jones has another quarterback that he's a little bigger guy than Lopez. Really likes to run it more than he likes to throw it. They like to run the football, do a real good job running the football with the running back and the quarterback. But they have a receiver. It's pretty good. But their defense is not very good. They give up a lot of points and really just trade touchdowns out for most of the game they're playing this year. So, like I said, whoever has to play them, they're going to be able to score on Bob Jones. Now, Bob Jones will score, but they'll be hurting on defense.
All right, so the teams that Hoover is most likely to play in the first round, if this final holds, Hoover would be the 2 seed and have to play the 3 seed from 7A Region 4, which is locked in at this point with the Florence Falcons. Again, another program that Hoover knows well. We've faced them numerous times in playoff battles. What do you know? Have you seen Florence live? What do you know about them?
Well, Florence, the same thing. They've got a quarterback that can run it, throw it. A younger team, and their coach went from James Clemens to Florence.
Yeah.
And so he's there taking them over. He likes to run the football and play defense, and that's what he's doing with this Florence team, run the football, trying to play defense. I see they're beating Grissom 34-6 at halftime right now. But, again, another, I think, a younger team, has a very good D1 guy in the secondary, but they'll give up some points at times.
The other game tonight that's important in the North, it's the winner of the game is going to be the 4 seed. That is Sparkman versus Huntsville. I think, you and I have mentioned this briefly. I think we both think that Sparkman is going to win that game. But if this score holds, the winner of that game is traveling to Thompson. So, maybe there's not a lot to talk about because, who knows what kind of fight that team's going to put up. We've actually seen Thompson versus Sparkman earlier this year where Thompson won that game 55-0. And it is tied. There you go. Jeff pulling it up on his phone. It's a tie game, and it's really close to halftime. So that's one that we'll keep an eye on here. But, again, if this score holds, Hoover would be hosting the Florence Falcons in 2 weeks. And a little interesting nugget about that is Florence is coming to Gardendale next Friday night. So they're going to play here in the metro area where I know the Hoover coaching staff, if this score holds, would probably like to get over there and watch those guys live. All right, Jeff. So we won't spend quite as much time doing a team-by-team breakdown, but who do you see as state championship contenders out of the South?
Well, I think Central, they already beat Auburn once this year by a touchdown. Talked to some Auburn defensive guys. They think that their offense struggled a little bit in that Central game, and they still think that they have a chance. But I still think Caleb Nix has had a great year. I think Central's got to be that leader. I think Auburn will be in that game. And I could really see I could almost see that whole Region 2 take out that whole Region 1 again this year. Fairhope maybe, but I really thought last year they were better than this year with their quarterback. So I really think Region 2 is going to be the one. Central Auburn would be my pick.
And obviously Hoover fans have seen Hoover versus Prattville. Prattville's playing somebody in the last week of the season also that's maybe Bob Jones. I think they're playing somebody from the North in that final week. So that'll be another kind of cross matchup. All right, so before we'll let you go, and we're going to kind of tune in to the Hoover Band here at halftime. One final thing. What's something maybe that you're watching for in the second half of this Hoover-Thompson matchup?
Well, I think Thompson's got to do something. Hoover's got to do something on that deep pass. I think that is their bread and butter, that they just think we've got the speed and we're just going to outspeed you throwing the football. Connor Harrell's been on the money for most of the first half. And if Hoover can't get pressure on them, to me, they've shut the run game down pretty good. So they know they're going to throw the football. And I saw Josh on the sidelines put, they're going to throw, but you just don't know with their speed who they're going to hit. So they just got to get that deep ball. Hoover, keep doing what you're doing. Like I said, they've moved the ball just as well. They just didn't get that touchdown. My big thing on that touchdown, I don't know if you saw it, Nick, the referees were way out and knowing they were going to cram the middle. It's like no one wanted to make a call.
Yeah.
No one came in to crash on the referees to see where the ball carrier was.
Right.
And I was shocked to see them just sort of look at each other, and then somebody just started waving their hands like no touchdown.
Well, now, I guess if you don't see touchdown, you can't call touchdown. There's not a call for not making a touchdown. So.
Yeah.
Well, Jeff, we appreciate it, man. It's always a pleasure. It's my favorite time of the year is getting to talk playoff football with you and breaking down the bracket a little bit and talking about everybody. So we really appreciate it. Hopefully we will see you again down the road sometime. Check out his work, Alabama6afootball.com, Alabama7afootball.com. Close friend Jeff Allison. We really appreciate the time. We're going to spend the rest of halftime tuning in to the Hoover Band. Hope you guys enjoy.
Well, there you have the Hoover marching band doing their performance. And in case you're just tuning in on Mixlr or on the NFHS Network, you can see the score on your video. But those of you listening, the score is 21-10 in favor of Thompson, as we're just a few minutes away from getting the second half underway. According to the Alabama Sports Writers Association, the poll showed Thompson as number 1. They received all 20 first-place votes. Hoover at number 2. Central Phoenix City is number 3, and they are off this week. They'll play their final game next Friday night. Auburn is at number 4. They're playing at Enterprise, or actually they're playing at home against Enterprise. James Clemens is 9-0, and they're number 5, and they are at home against Albertville tonight. Fairhope is number 6. They're at Alma Bryant. Number 7, Theodore, is at home against Foley. The game of most interest to us is number 8 against number 10. That's Hewitt-Trussville at Oak Mountain. And that's your top 10. Do you have a score on that game, Nick?
Sorry, which game?
On the Hewitt-Trussville Oak Mountain game.
The last I saw, Oak Mountain was up 7-0. I'm trying to find a more recent score.
So now that's your look at your top 10 schedule for tonight.
All right, Hewitt leads at halftime 21-7.
And Evan is not playing. Evan
Smith not playing tonight. We got a report that he was on. We had a report before the game that he was in street clothes on the sideline, so they may be trying to get him healthy for a playoff run, because they are definitely in the playoffs. And by losing tonight, they would be the 4 seed and have to travel to James Clemens in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, as we look at, I know you and Jeff Allison went over all that, but beginning of the night, you had Thompson and Hoover at 6-0, Hewitt-Trussville at 4-2, Oak Mountain is at 4-2, Gadsden City at 2-4, Vestavia 2-4, Spain Park 0-6, Tuscaloosa County 0-6. They're playing each other tonight, so somebody's going to get a win in region play this evening. But the only thing that's being determined now is, number 1, who's going to win Region 3, who's going to have home field advantage, and then the seeding will fall out. So if everything stayed as it is at this very moment, Thompson would be the number 1 seed, Hoover would be number 2, Hewitt-Trussville would be number 3, and Oak Mountain would be number 4. So 1 plays 4, 2 plays 3. So in this game, trying to decide the region winner, you're trying to decide the number 1 seed, and you're trying to figure out who would have home field advantage if these two teams should meet again in the playoffs. Thompson trying to beat Hoover for the 5th consecutive time and the 7th time in the last 8 that they've played. It'll be an important series. Every series seems to be an important one in this ball game, back and forth. And it's an important defensive series for the Bucks to try to get a stop on this first possession for Thompson to start the second half. They won the coin toss and deferred to the second half, so Thompson will start the second half with an 11-point lead and the football. And Hoover has used that to their advantage so many times this season. I don't think anybody's going anywhere. Some of them have just gotten here.
Yeah.
It was a late arriving crowd. I didn't know if it was still people trying to come to the game or trying to get home to the neighborhoods that have been built beyond the Med here.
Yeah, it's a tough night to live in one of those neighborhoods.
Both teams back on the field. Didn't do a whole lot of warm-ups. And here we go. The Bucks going out with Argent getting ready to kick it off. Thompson will receive going from our left to our right.
Kick off the second half for the Bucks, number 37, Peyton.
Yeah, Pippins to the near side. And that is Pegues to the far side.
Back deep for the Warriors, number 5, Justin McGee.
So Argent ready to kick it off. Beautiful night for football. We didn't even mention weather-wise, but it turned out very, very nice. And the kickoff goes into the end zone. Both you and I were on the field separately earlier before the ball game. I didn't really get onto the field. It's getting chewed up a little bit from all the rain that we've had this week. But for the most part, this field is built so that it drains very, very well.
Well, I came up here yesterday and unloaded some of the broadcasting equipment, and this end of the field that looks a little more chewed up, which if you're watching on NFH Network is the left of the screen, that area was actually covered by a tarp.
Yeah, and that's the part that has which would have been the skin part of the infield. That's where you see most of the damage to the turf because it hasn't been there as long. The kickoff went into the end zone, comes out to the 20, and here we go. Start the second half. And they put it on the ground, cuts to the outside. Sims dives ahead, got maybe 4 yards. Depending on where they spot him, we'll give him 3. It's second down and 7. They're quick off the ball. Pegues is in the backfield now. Jalen Ward's going to be way wide to the left side. 3 receivers over there. They're taking their time with this possession. Down to 10 on the play clock. Hoover's going to show blitz. And they get to the outside, turn the corner, got the first down to the 30. And bumped out of bounds was Pegues. Is that 6 or is that 5?
I think it was 5.
That is 5. So the PA announcer called it Bolden, but it is Pegues.
Bolden is coming out to play receiver on the right-hand side. He's going to be now he's going back over the other direction.
Just underway in the second half, 21-10. Harrell drops back. Here come the Bucks. He gets rid of it. It's caught by Pippins. He caught it right about the, looked like he caught about the 40, but going to spot him at the 38. Short of a first down. He needs to get to the 44 to pick up the first down. But second down and 4 coming up.
Pippin's now the single receiver to the right-hand side of the Thompson offense.
And this is Sims in there at quarterback. Here's a running play coming to the near side, Pegues, and he runs out of bounds.
Yeah, it sure is. Now, Harrell took a big shot early in the first half.
That was a first down pickup.
And Hoover obviously finished the half with the ball, so we didn't see him much there at the end.
So Zachary Sims is running the offense now, so see if the Bucks can take advantage of the back of the year not being in the game in the second half, at least to start. But he's already picked up a first down, play action. He looks to throw. He throws it to the far side, and it's incomplete, and the flag comes out. It was intended for Pippins, and they call pass interference. Back there defensively for the Bucks was Jeremy Cook.
Yeah, that's going to be that was a heck of a throw by the young quarterback.
Yeah.
Pass interference. Defense. 15-yard penalty.
15-yard penalty is a first down. Moves the ball into Hoover territory, spotted at the 40-yard line. And now they move it up another yard, so at the 39.
That's usually one of those two that it doesn't get called if the DB can get his head turned around and make a play on the ball. But when he keeps his head on the receiver, a lot of times that gets called.
Pegues moved down to the backfield into the slot. They're going to go his way. He's got to step on the defender, and it's overthrown. Incomplete.
Yeah, they ran a stutter screen that time. Pegues motioned out, then looked like he was going to go block the corner. for a screen to Pepins, but as Pegues gets out there, he just never stops running and making a block. He takes off, and he had a step, but the ball was just overthrown by the young quarterback Sims.
Second down and 10. A lot of these players for Thompson have only played half a ball game because they've scored so many points. A lot of times getting into the third quarter, and then got second and third stringers coming in there. They're saying 1st and 15. I didn't see a penalty against.
Yeah.
But 1st and 15 is what they have, and it is 1st and 15. Running play. This is Pegues running the football to the 40. Going to be second down and 11 coming up.
Yeah, so there was the pass interference and then the fake stutter screen. So I'm with you. I'm not exactly sure why they marked that back.
The ball is at the 41 of Hoover. Second down and 12, actually, is what they're saying. And Sims looks over to the bench. Gets the play signaled in. Play clock is at 7. Ball on the near hash mark. They put it on the ground, and good penetration by the Bucks, and he cannot get away. Pegues.
Yeah, that was Caleb Jackson making the tackle. He didn't play a lot in the first half, but making himself known here early. And now a 3rd and 15. This could be a turning point in this game where maybe the Bucks could get a stop and get the ball back.
They're 2 out of 3 on third down conversions. From the 44-yard line. In Hoover territory. Sims working out of the shotgun as a running back now released. That's Pegues, who is, now they throw it to the near side, and a leaping grab, and he's inbounds.
They are giving him the catch.
Caught by Jalen Ward at the 9-yard line. They were trying to plead their case over here that he was out of bounds. Defensively back there was Dale Miller. Heck of a catch.
Yeah, what a play. And now Sims is going, well, he's going to the sideline to talk to the coach. I thought he might be going out of the game.
Big play there. And now they have Brandon Franklin, who we haven't seen since the first couple of series. He's in there as a fullback.
Yeah, in there as a blocking back with Pegues behind him.
And they could put a hammer on the Bucks right here. Here's a big tackle.
Yeah.
And getting there was Marcus Clark to slam him down for a loss back to the 11-yard line. So it is 2nd and goal from the 11-yard line. The Bucks have the only turnover in this ball game. They could use one. They could use to force one right here.
Also, there is no white hat official on the field, which is another just an interesting wrinkle to this game.
Here is the quarterback, Sims, rolling out. Now he's going to run. He is to the 11. He's to the 10 and knocked out of bounds over there. He was knocked out by Finley, Jacob Finley coming up.
Yeah,
so he got a yard.
Sorry, Jeff. Andrew Parrish was held very blatantly, and there was no call.
So he's knocked back to the 11-yard line. 3rd and goal from the 11.
Yeah, the Bucks desperately need to hold Thompson to a field goal try here.
Oliver is in there. Deuce Oliver is going to be wide to the short side of the field. They got 3 up top. One of those, Jalen Ward, who just made a heck of a catch a moment ago. Sims looks to his left.
Oh, Pepins.
And he's going to be hit and drop back. He's sacked.
Fumbled.
He fumbled the ball, and the Bucks have the ball, I believe. And that's a big turnover. We talked about the fact that it wasn't a turnover in this game by Thompson, but they turn it over here, and the Bucks come away with the football with 7:54 to play in the third quarter.
And if the Bucks were not able to get pressure there, Pepins was wide open, as wide open as he will ever be, and he was just standing alone in the end zone near the Thompson sideline, kind of where the H in Hoover is, back there in the corner. But Sims unable to have time to get the throw, and a mistake by the youngster. Sack fumble, Hoover ball.
Now the Bucks going to run the ball, trying to get to the outside as Williams hurdles a tackler and then gets knocked down right at the 25-yard line. I mean, he was pancaked.
That's why you don't leave your feet as a running back, because when you're in the air and the defender running at you has his feet in the ground, he's able to generate force, and that was Jeremiah Alexander who just planted Amari Williams.
No gain. 2nd down and 10 for the Bucks. Been tough sledding, running the football for the Bucks tonight. This crowd has kind of settled in. It's more of a murmur than it is any kind of roar or cheer now. R.J. Hamilton in motion to the short side of the field. Meredith. Heavy pressure. He throws it downfield, incomplete.
Yeah. Really had no one to throw to that time. The pressure was getting to him again as the Thompson front seven are starting to wreak havoc on this game.
7:08 to play in the 3rd quarter. 21-10. The Bucks need a score here. They get to within 4 if they can score the touchdown and convert. K.J. Law checks into the game. Hamilton is in there as a receiver. Peters is in there as a receiver. Amerson is in at the running back slot. They're going to fake to him. They come after Meredith. He's in trouble. Throws it downfield and throws it out of bounds.
Yeah, he just has no time to throw. Pressure in his face almost immediately. They are having a guy stand in every gap, so 6 men across in all the gaps around the offensive line, and nobody with their hand on the ground on those 3rd and longs. And that pass rush is just in his face immediately.
It brings up 4th and 10, so they didn't move the football one bit on that possession, and now Argent is on the punt. He's punted the only punt of the game. That was a 42-yarder with no return. Low snap. He gets it away. Hangs high and taken at the 33-yard line. No return. Fair catch signaled for by Pegues, and Thompson gets the ball back. 6:53 to play in the ball game. Bucks really needed to do something there offensively. They could have changed the momentum completely after the fumble. And we'll see if Sims continues at quarterback, and he will.
Yeah, this game kind of feels like it's teetering a little bit on the edge of slipping through the hands of Hoover. Felt like Hoover may have kind of got a firm grasp back last drive by forcing that turnover.
They put it on the ground, and they give the ball to Pegues, trying to turn the corner, and they cut him off, and he gets no gain, maybe a half a yard. 2nd down and 9 coming up. Caleb Jackson on the tackle for Hoover. .6:28 to play.
Hoover having a little bit of trouble getting lined up. Now they're starting to get settled in.
We're in the 3rd quarter. 3 receivers wide to the right. Running play and a burst of speed and a 1st down by Pegues. Carries it to the 46-yard line. I mean, he looked like he was at full speed when he had the handoff.
Yeah, and Corey Warren came through the defensive line, but he was kind of coming in the opposite direction of Pegues, and he got a hand on him, but he was unable to generate enough force to bring him to the ground. 1st
down for the Warriors. They move the 3 receivers in tight. Ball on the far hash mark. Down to 5 on the play clock. Sims will take the snap with 1. Gives the ball up to Pegues, who's pushed back, a loss on the play. Bucks have done a better job on 1st down defensively. It'll be a loss of 2 on the play. 2nd down and 12. 5:14. The clock very important. The Bucks down by 11. Sims turns, gives the Signal to his running back. Hands the ball to him, trying to go to
edge.
his left. And
there's a hold.
There's a flag, and he breaks free. He's inside the 30 down to the 25-yard line.
It's interesting that the Bucks got the hold call on Thompson's sideline. Usually you get that near your own sideline because all your coaches are screaming, hold, 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 and giving the official extra sets of eyes.
So that negates the running play and the gain on the play. So it's the holding penalty against Thompson that backs him up.
Going to make it a 2nd and 19.
That is their 6th penalty. They've been penalized for 50 yards. Moves them back to the 37-yard line. Hoover sending.
Well, it might be a corner blitz from R.J. Brackett on the left side.
Sent about 6 guys up to the line. Running play left side, and they push him down. The loss of the play back to the 32-yard line.
Yeah, that was Jordan Norman. And now you wonder, and Sims has looked fantastic throwing the ball deep, but you wonder if maybe they are having a little bit of hesitance in throwing because of the pass rush that Hoover got last time. We'll see here on a 3rd and about 21, 4 receivers split wide.
And Pegues back in there at the running back slot. The ball's at the 34-yard line. It is 3rd and 22. Big play here for the Bucks defense.
See if Hoover can generate a pass rush, not showing blitz.
They give the ball to the running back, Pegues, and he is stopped short of the 35, so 4th down coming up. It'll be 4th down and 21. This will be the first punt of the night. I think he's only punted 3 times this year.
And that was an interesting play call. You wonder if maybe there was a miscommunication, like if Sims was supposed to read something, and if he saw a certain thing, he could throw it. If he saw a different thing, he could hand it off. But that was an interesting just inside handoff on 3rd and 20. That doesn't seem like something that Thompson would normally do.
Peters back at his own 35. How about a punt return? How about
Or a block?
How about a block? And it goes to the 37-yard line, and the Bucks recover the fumble or the block punt, and they have the ball with 3:14 to play. They keep hanging around. They're trying to climb back into this football game, down by 11 with 3:14 to play.
The ball is spotted on the 38.
So the Bucks have it 1st and 10 at the Thompson 38-yard line with 3:14 to play in the 3rd quarter.
And this is where you don't mind taking a shot if you're the Hoover offense. A huge change of possession play, change of momentum play. See what Hoover dials up.
They're going to throw, and it's caught by Law at the 25-yard line. That's the 1st down.
Yeah, he knocked it out. No, he knocked it out.
And it's going to be incomplete. Thompson thought they'd recovered a fumble.
Well, the initial Thompson defenders that got there jumped up and started celebrating incomplete pass immediately. The officials came in and signaled incomplete pass immediately.
So it's 2nd down and 10 from the 38-yard line. 3:07 remaining. Niblett as a fullback on the right side of the line.
They didn't reset the play clock. As the clock has winded to 0, they're making a call. The flag came down from the back judge because he was just watching the play clock, but I don't think it was ever reset.
And they may have to just wave off this flag. Meredith pleading his case, and Coach Niblett already out there talking. And he's motioning that they never did start the play clock or restart it. And I think that's going to be an inadvertent flag.
I don't know, the referee's body language. So Hoover's not going to get a penalty because they were forced to take a timeout.
So Hoover uses their first timeout of the second half. They will have the ball 2nd down and 10 from the Thompson 38-yard line, trailing 21-10.
We called out maybe the farthest distance listener last week with Miss Vicki Clark listening to us or watching us from Mexico. I know this week I saw on Twitter earlier Marlon Humphrey, former Hoover great, watching, ready for the Ravens home game in Baltimore, Maryland this weekend. So we wish Marlon the best of luck. We appreciate him watching us on the NFHS network. Looked earlier, we had a whole bunch of listeners on Mixlr. I think it's the most I've seen all year. All you guys that are listening on Mixlr, we appreciate you guys. Everybody watching on NFHS network. Hope that you're enjoying a great night of high school football.
Chance for this to get even tighter and more dramatic if the Bucks can do something with this possession. 2nd down and 10. Here they come back out on the field. Amari Williams is the running back. And Thompson jumps offside, and the Bucks get 5 yards there. So it'll be 2nd down and 5 coming up for the Bucks. Somebody on the right side of that defensive line into the neutral zone. So that moves the ball up to the 33-yard line. Woolen is wide to the left side. Laws to the right. Tight end Gaines moves to the left side of the line. Give the ball to Williams. Runs into one of his own blockers, and he's ankle tackled down around the 32-yard line. So he got 1 yard. So it brings up 3rd down and 4 for Hoover.
Making the stop for Thompson, number 21, Anquan Pickens.
I mean, that hole closed up in a hurry. 2:42 left in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, and you can see why Thompson has been so strong on defense all season long.
Play clock down to 5. Down to 2 on the snap. Give the ball to Williams. He slips down around the 30. They needed to get to the 28-yard line, so it's 3rd down, make it 4th down and 2. It'll be 4 down territory for Hoover here. Two minutes exactly to play here in the 3rd quarter. And the Bucks going to swap out some people. Evan Reeder's coming to the ball game. Who's going to use another timeout? That'll be their 2nd. So they have 1 timeout remaining, and there's 1:41 remaining in the 3rd period. And they find themselves on the short end of a 21-10 score. Great atmosphere here tonight. Beautiful weather, no wind to speak of.
It just feels like there's so much riding on each play in this game. This is going to be the 2nd time now that Hoover has been faced with a 4th and very short on the Thompson end of the field.
We've been told that their starting quarterback, Connor Harrell, has an injured wrist, and that's why he is not in there.
The white hat official was actually down in the end zone with ice on his knee.
Very physical game. Here we go. 4th down and 2. And they pull him offside with a hard snap count, and that's going to give the Bucks an automatic 1st down. 2nd time on this series that they've been able to pull Thompson offside. Wow. Thompson has made some mistakes here in the 2nd half to let Hoover try to climb back in it. They have not quite finished the deal.
Yeah, and the Bucks definitely need to finish this drive with a touchdown.
If they do not get a touchdown on this drive, Thompson will feel as if they've dodged a bullet and the momentum will swing back to them. Hoover, trailing by 11, desperately need to get on the board. 1:41 to play. Play action. Across the middle and to the end zone. It's Hamilton. Touchdown, Buccaneers! Touchdown. Makes it a 21-16 ball game with 1:33 to play.
Yeah, that was a shot play after picking up the first down. The outside receiver ran a post across the middle. R.J. Hamilton runs a wheel route around the outside. Because of the switch of the receivers, it messed up the coverage of Thompson. And a beautiful pass by Bennett Meredith and another big touchdown pass.
Now the point after to make it a 4-point game. It is up. It is good. And it's a 21-17 ball game as Thompson continues to hold on to the lead. And how big does the play at the end of the first half look now?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because Hoover would have the lead in this game. And now with their quarterback out and the young guy, Zach Sims, in, now your Thompson, probably for the first time all season, is going to feel a little bit of pressure. They're going to feel those muscles tighten up just a little bit. And we talked about Hoover coming out and playing in this game early and looking tight. We'll see if we see the same thing from the Warriors here.
Bucks have pulled within 4 points with 1:33 left. Thompson has all 3 of their timeouts remaining. Hoover is down to 1. But they were well-used timeouts to get on the board there. And on a 4th down play, they were able to get Thompson to jump offside, and then they went for the kill and got the touchdown. 21-17.
Man.
Argent with the approach and the kickoff, and it will go into the end zone. So they bring it out to the 20 on the touchback.
The end zone for a touchback. First and 10, Thompson.
.133 remaining here in the third quarter. 21-17. The lowest point total of the season that Thompson has scored was when they were quote-unquote held to 42 points against Hewitt-Trussville. They have 21 through nearly 3 quarters here. Here is Sims throwing. And it is intercepted by the Bucks.
And they are going to have a return set up.
He's at the 40, the 35, the 30, at the 25, the 20, at the 15. He's out of bounds. And the Bucks have a chance to take the lead now on this possession.
There is a flag back on the 30-yard line, probably going to be for an illegal block or a blindside block, but that should not change the possession being Hoover. If all else fails, that may just back. There is a Thompson player down.
It is a illegal block in the back against the Bucks.
So that should back the ball up.
Have the football.
Yeah, sorry, Jeff. That should back the ball up to the 40. Trying to get all my bearings here. That was the Thompson tight end who came up lame on the play. He's kind of hobbling off. He is getting off on his own power, which is a good sign.
The Bucks are still going to have good field position. They'll have the ball at the Thompson 40-yard line. The pass was intended for Jalen Ward, and it went off his fingertips. And I don't know if it hit the other defender's hands or not, but it popped up in the air, and there to get it was Jay Avery. So the Bucks have a chance to regain the lead. They haven't led since the second quarter. And they're down by 4. Second interception, or second turnover of the game by Thompson. Both teams have thrown an interception. Meredith with the ball on the near hash mark. Takes the snap, gives the ball to his running back Williams, who is going to be pushed back for a loss of 1, maybe 2 on the play. They're going to spot him at the 39, so he loses 1. Second down and 11.
And it's just tough sledding in the middle of that Thompson defense.
And under a minute to play. here in the third quarter. The Bucks have been held to 65 yards rushing the ball. Thompson with only 77 yards on the ground. Ball on the near hash mark, 2nd and 11 to give the ball to Williams again. This time a little bigger hole. He gets across the 40 to the 38. Needs to get down to the 30 to pick up the first down. So it's 3rd down coming up for Hoover. Been a battle of 3rd downs in this game. Of course, you could be in 4-down territory if you're Hoover. 15 seconds to play in the quarter. Will they play? They're going to let the clock run out. And we'll have the fourth quarter and 4 points separating the two teams. So we've played 3 quarters here, and it's been everything we thought it would be. And with 12 minutes of football remaining, it is 21-17 in favor of Thompson. Well, we want to thank our sponsor, UAB Callahan Eye Hospital and Clinics, for being with us all season long. You know, convenience is important, and so is your vision. And that's why UAB Callahan Eye Hospital and Clinics has made getting eye care for your entire family easy, with more than 15 clinic locations, including the Hoover location at Stadium Trace Crossings. Your family can receive a full range of vision care regardless of where you live. And with a text option to schedule an appointment, the road to healthy vision is only a text away. Call or text 844-UAB-EYES. That's 844-UAB-EYES to schedule your appointment today. Expert eye care close to home. Trust your family's vision to Callahan, proud sponsor of the Bucks. Here we go, back to action. 3rd down and 8 for the Bucks. Here is play action. And a roll out to the right side, and now Bennett's going to be tackled and thrown down at the 43-yard line. I don't know why the PA was, or something was going over the PA while the Bucks were on offense. I don't know what that was all about.
That was brutal right there also.
And it drops the Bucks all the way back to the 44-yard line, meaning they'll have to punt the football as it's 4th down and a mile. So they're going to give the ball right back to Thompson. So we start the fourth quarter with a sack of the quarterback. And Thompson's going to get it back, leading by 4. He gets it away off the side of his foot, it looked like. And it goes out of bounds.
Yeah. Just an okay punt.
And it goes out about the
still walking
27.
27.
So could be worse.
Well, the worst thing is considering Hoover started that last drive on the plus 40 with the sack. I mean, that wasn't Argent's fault, but with the sack and all the backwards movement, that punt doesn't really, show or doesn't really help out the field position. And now Hoover's defense back out on the field. Thompson's 3 drives in the third quarter: fumble, block punt, interception. So the defense is doing their job but needs another big stop here.
Again, their starting quarterback, Connor Harrell, is out with a wrist injury.
Thompson will call a timeout.
And that is their first timeout of the second half.
It's also important to note that there was an issue with the play clock in that third quarter where Hoover had to call a timeout. Then there was another 4th down where Hoover called a timeout just to figure out what they wanted to do. So the Bucks now are left with only 1 timeout for the final 11 minutes of this football game. We were talking earlier about the PA. So the Hoover basketball team is hosting an event after the game tonight that they're calling Midnight Madness, and they have some hip-hop artists and some DJs that are going to be on site kind of keeping everything going. So I'm not exactly sure who's down there, but I think that's what was going on with the PA system.
11:07 to play here in the game. Sims takes the snap, hands the ball off. This is Pippins. Pippins trying to get to the outside, and he steps out of bounds, picking up the first down. He can beat you in so many different ways. 21-17. Thompson scored 21 points in the second quarter. They led at halftime, 21-10. The Bucks have come back to make it a 21-17 ball game. We have an injured Hoover player, Josh Carter, being checked on at the 43-yard line out there. So we have a timeout, officials timeout, injury timeout. Gives us a chance kind of to catch our breath here a little bit. And they help him up. And he comes off under his own power, so that's a good sign. 21-17. Thompson on top of this ball game. In the battle of the top two teams in the state. A lot of people got their eyes on this game.
Yeah, and you hate Connor Harrell going down, the Thompson quarterback. But we've seen a couple of throws from Zach Sims, and he has a very strong arm also. Kind of looks like Harrell back there in the backfield.
Running back to his right, man in motion. Fake to him, counter play. They give the ball up to Pegues. Pegues is going to run for first down and more. Gets to the outside, banged out of bounds in Hoover territory at the 31-yard line, around the 32.
Yeah, two huge plays for Thompson. They had the pop pass on the end around to Pepins, and then just an outside zone play to the left, and Pegues cuts it all the way back to the right and gains a huge chunk yardage. And now Thompson threatening to score.
They have the ball at the Hoover 32-yard line. Bucks could use another turnover. Pegues lines up to the left of his quarterback, and a man right behind him. They're going to give it to the man behind him, who slips through and gets to the 30-yard line. They had him hit behind the line of scrimmage.
Caleb Jackson making the stop for Hoover.
That was Pippins. So they had him as a running back. Oliver is in the game. He's over here in the slot, along with Ward, who's outside right at the numbers. Second down and 8. For Thompson, they go from a right to a left. High snap. They give the ball up, and they get him behind the line of scrimmage and drop him at the 30-yard line. So no gain on that play. Now a flag is out.
And that is a dumb penalty on Hoover. Awful, awful, awful penalty.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against the Bucks.
Yep. Man,
what
a brutal penalty.
Was that a taunting or what?
It was. He called unsportsmanlike conduct. I didn't see what happened.
And that gives them an automatic first down. The Bucks had it. It'll be third down and 8. And they get an unsportsmanlike conduct to give Thompson a first down at the Hoover 15-yard line.
Yep, just awful.
You can't give good teams more than one chance. And now Thompson going to call a timeout, it appears. So Thompson is down to one timeout. So both teams down to one timeout with 9 minutes, 59 seconds remaining in the football game. Hoover has climbed back to within 4, but Thompson threatening with the ball at the Hoover 15-yard line.
Yeah, and setting the stage, you talked about it. Hoover was going to force Thompson into a 3rd and 8, and you can tell Thompson right now is actively trying not to put the ball in the hands of their young quarterback. He's already had 2 turnovers in this second half, and they are content just keeping the ball on the ground. And Hoover has already put them in field goal range, but Hoover really had put the pressure on Thompson and absolutely bailed them out and gave them a gift with an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
Zachary Sims at the quarterback. Pegues is lined up right behind him. Oliver in the slot on the left side. Pegues gets the handoff, and he is going to be stopped short of the line of scrimmage. He'll lose 2 yards.
Hoover's got to keep their cool. It was a really late push that time by Terrell Jones on the ball carrier.
So
the Bucks need to calm down.
They're going to mark it back a loss of 1, so it is 2nd down and 11. The ball now at the 16-yard line of Hoover. Pegues at the running back slot. They give the ball to him. Nope, a keeper by Sims. Sims going to be tackled short of the 10. He's at about the 12-yard line. So a 3rd down coming up for them. 4-down territory, I would guess, for Thompson at this stage.
You know, they could kick a field goal and make it a 7-point game. That's what I would suspect they do if they don't pick this up, because they do have a quality field goal kicker.
Well, the ball is at the 13-yard line. 3rd down and a long 7. Sims on a keeper that time was able to pick up a couple of yards. Pegues is his running back. Lines up to his right. Go down to 3 on the play clock. Takes the snap. Going to throw. And it's caught right at the 2-yard line. Nope, he didn't. He did catch it, but he was out of bounds. So they call it incomplete, 4th down.
Yeah, nice throw again that time by Sims. He just threw it a little too wide for Pepins, and Thompson will send their field goal unit onto the field.
So this keeps the Bucks hanging in there. So a field goal would make it a 7-point game where the Bucks could still be within 1 score. It will be a 30-yard attempt with no angle. This is Hardy. Trevor Hardy. The snap is good. The placement is good. And the kick is wide left.
Yeah, he missed it.
He missed it. He missed it. And the Bucks have the football. 8:29 to play, and the Bucks just keep hanging around. Wow. It was flat, and it was wide left. 8:29 to play in the ball game. 21-17, and the Bucks come back on the field. They'll go from our left to our right. Do we have a miracle finish? I said I'd like to be close until the end, and Hoover win it right at the end of the game. See if we get our wish here. Hoover could take the lead on this possession. Play action and a pass. That is caught by Law for a 1st down, and he's popped at the 34-yard line, but it's a 1st down, a 14-yard gain.
Yeah, great catch that time by K.J. Law. Kind of an RPO-type play where they had the option to run, but they had K.J. Law getting inside position on the DB. Nice throw by Meredith and a tough catch by Law.
Amerson is in now at the running back slot. Fullback on the left side of the line. They give the ball to Amerson. Nope, fake play action and a catch.
Flag in the middle of the field, probably in the area of a hold.
The catch was made at the 39. He was hit immediately. There is a flag at the 36-yard line. It is against Hoover. That will be the 6th penalty against Hoover. Ineligible receiver downfield for the Bucks. It's going to bring up 1st down and 15. They need to get to the 44-yard line to pick up a 1st down. It's been a battle. 8:01 to play in the fourth quarter. Hoover down by 4, but they have the football. Meredith looks to his left, and he throws across the middle. It's caught by Hamilton. Hamilton gets free. Now the ball comes out, and it's loose.
No, it's his foot. It was a shoe.
A shoe? I thought it was a football, and he runs across midfield. Wow, I'm glad it was a shoe.
Yes, absolutely.
That ball, it looked like a ball. It was a shoe that went flying about 8 or 9 yards. And the Bucks have a first down. First down right at midfield. Hamilton with 8 catches for 124 yards tonight. Does he make a difference? The ball at the far hash mark as the Bucks go from our left to our right. So the wide side is the right side for Meredith to throw. He sends Gaines to the left side of the line as a tight end. They're going to give the ball to Amerson. No, a keeper by Meredith, and he's going to run for a first down. Banged out of bounds at the 37-yard line. Meredith faked it into the line and then bootlegged it around to the left side for a first down. No flags. It holds up.
There is a flag.
Where is it?
I don't know. I just saw the signal.
And I heard it's going to walk back. It's going to be a holding penalty against the Bucks.
There is no flag on the field anywhere that I can see.
No, I don't either. And the white hat is not on the field. He normally would be making those announcements. So it pushes the ball back to the 46-yard line. That was a great play. But it's first down and 15. They still need to get to the 40-yard line to pick up a first down. 7:37 to play in the ball game. Hoover trailing by 4. Meredith shifts his tight ends to the left side of the line. Gaines and Niblett. They put it on the ground this time, and Amerson going to fight his way to the 50-yard line. So he's back to the original line of scrimmage. So it'll be second down and 10 coming up for Hoover. Remember, a field goal won't do the Bucks any good. They trail by 4. They need to get a touchdown. 7:04 to play in this game. R.J. Hamilton comes back in. Coming off the field is Jordan Woolen. Hamilton is to the short side, the wide side of the field. Meredith under heavy pressure, throws it out here, caught by Gaines, and he's hit at the 45 for a loss on the play of 5 yards.
Yeah, that was just defended exceptionally well by the Warriors. They were able to get pressure, and they've made Meredith throw falling backwards more tonight than I think we've seen him do that all season. Most of the time he's still able to deliver a strike, but they are really keeping Hoover's receivers from getting open deep by getting pressure on Meredith so early. They don't have time for those routes to develop.
Karsten Haywood was the man who made that tackle. Amerson still in the backfield. Lines up to the left. Third down and 14 for the Bucks. Now whistle and timeout.
Nope, delay of game.
Delay of game. They let the clock
run
out.
Or the flag came down. Did Hoover get a timeout in time?
Delay of game. They were probably not going to burn that timeout.
I was going to say the timeout is more important than the 5 yards right now anyway.
So it's third down, and it will be 19 yards to go. Still need to get to the 40, so right in the middle of this field.
It'll be R.J. Hamilton and Cott Peters to the left. K.J. Law split out to the right.
Niblett, a tight end on the right side. They send a man in motion, play action, and Meredith under a heavy rush. He looks and looks and looks, and he's now going to be sacked at the 30. Big play there, and it brings up fourth down, and really no chance for them to go for it on fourth down. It will be fourth down and forever.
Yeah, and they are just getting pressure immediately on every pass play. It's almost there's almost a free rusher every play in Meredith's face, and he did a pretty good job of buying some time, but the fact that he bought some time took him deeper in the pocket, which resulted in more lost yards on that sack. And the Hoover or the Thompson defensive front has asserted itself here in the second half.
Pippins back to return the punt. And a high boomer, and he takes it at the 25, back
Block in the
pedaling.
back. Yeah, they called it.
And a
really, really dumb block
man.
in the back also by Thompson.
Block in the back. And speaking of Thompson, that's who was hit. No, it's Josh Carter who was hit from behind.
So it's going to be on about the 28, so they'll back it up to about the 18-yard line to start this drive.
5:05 remaining.
All right, talking about math here and the clock, Thompson, they're going to be able to run off about 2 minutes per 4 downs. So depending on if they pick up first downs and how quickly they do that, in a best case scenario, Hoover could get the ball back with about 3 minutes to go. Thompson could obviously help the Bucs out by throwing some incomplete passes.
Sims at quarterback. They keep it on the ground. Oh, big hole comes to the left side. Now trying to stretch it out. Gets to the corner. He's at the 35 and goes out of bounds at the 37-yard line. That was Pippins. Man, he is so fast, so quick.
Yeah, and that was a play that was designed to go to the right. He just cut it back to the left, and the flow of the offensive line and the entire offense going to Thompson's right pulled Hoover's defense that way, and there was just nobody on the backside.
First down for Thompson at their own 38-yard line.
All in all, time-wise, that doesn't really hurt Hoover because Pepins ran the ball out of bounds, so it knocked about 10 seconds off the clock, but they're faced with this first down again. So it just kind of resets things.
Franklin in there as a blocking back. A little delay. They get the ball to Pepins. He does a dip and a dive, and he goes to his right and crosses the 40 to the 30 to the 42-yard line. He got about 5 yards. 5-yard pickup makes it second down and 5. And we're at 4:40 to play. The Bucs trailing by 4 points, and they need a stop and the ball back. Second and 5. They check off. Look to the sideline. Play clock down to 13. Sims has done a pretty good job in there in relief of Connor Harrell, who was injured in the first half. Going to give the ball to Pippins. Pippins to the left, and he's very close to the first down. He needs to get to the 48, and I think he got it.
Yeah, he's going to be just a yard shy.
They spot him at the 47-yard line. So his knee apparently went down there. So third down and 1.
Again, the Bucs with only one timeout left. Thompson now putting Ryan Pepins, their wide receiver, as the running back in the backfield.
3:42 remaining. Taking lots of time, down to 6 on the play clock. And a bad snap, and they pick it up, and he's going to be tackled back at the 40-yard line. Pippins picked it up, but the Bucs were able to swarm on top of him. It looked like the snap hit the leg of the center and then just kind of fell down in front of the quarterback. So fourth down and 6 coming up, and they are going to punt. At least they show punt. Now you have to be careful of a fake here.
I think with their defense, they're going to punt this thing away and dare Hoover to score on their defense.
It would be very dangerous to fake a punt, trailing or leading only by 4.
Now, Hoover did block one earlier, so they may use that Hoover aggressiveness against them.
Hoover doesn't get to it this time, an end-over-end kick, and it's going to bounce and get inside the 20, and they'll tap it just around the 18-yard line. So 2 minutes, 38 seconds to play in this ball game, and a chance to win it here for the Bucs if they can go 81 yards. 2 minutes, 38 seconds to play in the ball game. The Bucs have led on a couple of occasions in this ball game, but they find themselves trailing where it counts, and that's with 2 minutes, 38 seconds to play in the ball game. 21-17 in favor of Thompson. Scott Peters hustling on to the field, down to 10 on the play clock, ball on the near hash mark. Meredith looks to throw. He does over the middle, and it's going to be batted around and incomplete and darn near intercepted.
Yeah, it hit off a Thompson player, off of Cott Peters, off of another Thompson player, and then thankfully hit the ground. That was Amari Burrell back there.
It looked like pinball.
Yep.
2nd down and 10.
And again, Bennett Meredith got hit right in his face.
He's a tough kid. He bounces right back up. He's taking some hits tonight. Williams is his running back to his right. That running game has not been there tonight. Meredith checks off, under pressure, throws, and he is going to throw an incomplete pass, and he's slow to get up here.
Yeah, Bennett got hammered again. It's every play. He just has Thompson Warriors bearing down on him seemingly as the ball gets to his hands.
Massive play coming up for Hoover here. 3rd down and 10 from their own 19-yard line. Just as you have to find where Ryan Pippins is on the field when Thompson's on offense, they need to find out where R.J. Hamilton is for Hoover, because he might be the guy you go to.
The Bucks with 2 tight ends.
3rd down and 10. Big play. Meredith scrambling, looking, throwing. It is caught.
Dropped.
Right at the sticks, and it came out.
He held on to it. First down. Wow. I thought I saw that ball bounce out of there.
It is a 1st down for Hoover.
What a catch by R.J. Hamilton on a broken play where Meredith just makes something happen, throws it up, and a great catch by R.J. Hamilton.
2:08 to play in the ball game. Meredith down the sideline, throwing it for Cott Peters. He caught it at the 38-yard line.
What a catch by Cott Peters. What a throw by Bennett Meredith, dropping it in the bucket. About a 30-yard completion. They're holding the chains. What's the deal here? Now they're bringing the chains. Okay.
Stops the clock as he got out of bounds with exactly 2 minutes to play in the ball game. Hoover trailing by 4.
Now, I'm not sure that he got out of bounds. They stopped the clock to move the chains, so we'll see what the referees do. Okay, the clock is running.
So we're under 2 minutes to play. The ball's at the 38, and a timeout has been called by one of these two
by
teams.
Thompson. That's their last one.
So Thompson's out of timeouts with a 1 minute, 56 seconds to play, and the Bucks are threatening here, down by 4 with a minute 56 to play, and they're 36 yards away from pulling this one out of the fire.
Fans, a reminder at the conclusion of the game.
Remember, a field goal won't do them any good as they're down by 4, so they need 6 points.
Yeah, and, telling the entire story of this thing for anybody that may just be tuning in, our listener count keeps going up on Mixler, and I'm sure we keep having people jump in on the NFHS network. Hoover with a very controversial call at the end of the first half, stopped at the goal line. A lot of debate on whether or not Amari Williams got in the end zone or not. So Hoover could be leading in this game. But at the same time, Thompson has played the entire second half without 7A Mr. Football Connor Harrell. So both teams dealing with some things. Whatever the case, we're down to 2 minutes left. Hoover with the ball and 37 yards between them and winning this football game.
So they actually spot the ball at the 38-yard line. Meredith with the ball on the far hash mark. Takes the snap. He looks over the middle, looks to his right, throws. He got a man. It's caught at the 25-yard line. That's a 1st down. Caught by K.J. Law, who's had a big night.
And that time the protection held up. Maybe the pass rush from Thompson is getting a little winded. And that time it wasn't a tough catch in traffic. That time it was an open receiver with a couple of steps on his man. Hoover throwing to an open receiver. Nice throw by Meredith. Nice catch by Law. Some space being found in that secondary.
Hoover has 1 timeout remaining. 1.5 to play. Look for R.J. Hamilton over the middle. They thought incomplete. It was a little bit behind Meredith, who finds himself face down back at the 33-yard line as he is crushed again. And it stops the clock with 1:24 to play in the ball game. 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, he just threw that one to kind of save himself.
Some people heading out of the stadium, I don't know why. Trying to beat the traffic. We may have picked up some of those listeners. 1:24 to play in the game. The ball's at the Thompson 25-yard line. 2nd down and 10. The Bucks trail by 4. A touchdown could win it. Meredith rolls to his right. steps up in the pocket. He throws downfield, caught at the 11-yard line by R.J. Hamilton for a first down with 1:15 to play in the game.
And again, Meredith ends up on his back. Again, another tough throw and a catch climbing the ladder by R.J. Hamilton. Bucks making play after play on this drive as the clock continues to run, nearing 1 minute.
Hoover has still one timeout remaining. The ball is right at the 10-yard line. 1 minute to play. Ball on the near hash mark. Look for Niblett. Low snap.
Absolutely.
They throw. There's Niblett. He is out of bounds at the 1 yard line.
They are, looks like they're going to mark him at about the 2. So close to inching his way in the end zone there. 50 seconds left. And another goal line situation for the Thompson Warriors and the Hoover Bucks.
They kept the Bucks out of the end zone at the end of the first half. Can they keep the Bucks out of the end zone at the end of the game? 50 seconds remaining. 21-17. Amari Williams in the backfield. Both ends are tight. Williams with the handoff, and he is stopped.
He just got absolutely swamped.
And the Bucks used their final timeout with 44 seconds.
They haven't called it yet.
I thought I saw Meredith.
No, they haven't called it yet. He was signaling something to the coaches, so they're saving their timeout.
Down to 34 seconds. It's
3rd and 3 anyway, so you only have 2 plays, so time doesn't really matter.
3rd and goal from the 3. They give the ball an up roll out.
Man.
Here's a flag, and they got Niblett, and he can't catch it. Stops the clock with 20 seconds to play, but that's going to be a penalty against the Bucks, more than likely.
Yeah, most likely they were not lined up correctly.
He had Niblett wide open, too, but it would have been called back.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what Thompson decides to do because they could take the penalty and probably be a replay of down. They might be able to decline the penalty and make it 4th down.
20 seconds left in this ball game.
I have not seen. Okay, one official's over on the Thompson sideline asking them what they want to do, and they are discussing, trying to decide. They're going to back Hoover up, which should be a replay of down.
5-yard penalty puts it back at the 8-yard line.
Yeah, the call was an illegal formation, so Hoover probably had too many men lined up in the backfield. They kind of had a funky power formation there with an extra offensive lineman in the game.
So 20 seconds left. Hoover still has a timeout remaining. R.J. Hamilton split out to the left.
Again, the clock doesn't matter, 20 seconds, but Hoover only has 2 plays here.
Meredith fumbled it for a moment, got it back. He throws to the end zone. Touchdown!
What a throw!
Touchdown!
Oh, my goodness! Yes!
Jabari Gaines caught it in the corner, and the Bucks have the lead. The Bucks have taken a 23-21 lead with 14 seconds to play.
Now we need to keep everybody calm.
The Bucks up by 2.
My goodness, what a throw and a toe tap. Call Nate Burleson on the NFL Network with the toe drag swag there by Jabari Gaines.
The extra point try is up. It is good. 24-21 with 14 seconds to play in this ball game.
There's a flag.
And we'll see what that's all about. Thompson heads to their sideline. Hoover's still hanging out a little bit. And now they come to their sideline. But Hoover has the lead, 24-21. And let's say something about the defense. They've not given up a point in the second half.
Absolutely.
The Bucks trailed 21-10 at halftime. They've scored 14 unanswered points to take the lead with 14 seconds remaining in the ball game. Now this one still isn't over because they have some big-time playmakers, and Hoover has to be careful not to give up anything. A field goal could win it for Thompson if they get within range.
I think it was offsetting penalties. I didn't see the signal.
This crowd is buzzing.
All right, another important issue here with only 14 seconds left on the clock is Thompson is out of timeouts. They called them all already, so they're going to have to run this drill without any timeouts. You would expect that Argent might kick this ball into the end zone, and that would leave Thompson with probably 1 or 2 snaps.
14 seconds remaining in the ball game. Well, this is exactly how I would have drawn it up. I said I wanted a close game until the end with Hoover pulling it out. Let's see if they can pull it out. Hoover's going to kick it off from the 45-yard line of Thompson because of the penalty apparently against Thompson. We didn't see what it was.
I think they called it unsportsmanlike conduct, and I thought I saw the official point both ways, which should have been offsetting, but I guess he just pointed at Thompson.
Let's see if Argent's just going to kick it into the woods. This crowd is buzzing. He kicks it into the scoreboard, or off the top of the wall. 14 seconds remaining. Whew. So it comes out to the 20-yard line. And the Bucks have 14 seconds to hold on. Thompson has played the entire second half without their starting quarterback, Connor Harrell. Takes the snap, throws it out to the right side, and they're going to let Pippins do some running, but a flag will stop the play.
I don't know.
And I don't know if it was somebody on the Hoover sideline that got called for something. The official was looking over, and now Coach Niblett talking to somebody on the sideline.
So Hoover had too many men on the field and still do. There they go. Now they're going to get that situated.
So the ball at the 25-yard line. They haven't moved the markers. First down and 5. Now they swing it out the same way. And he dropped the ball. That's going to be an
incomplete pass. Woo, Hoover came up with the football, which would have ended this thing.
That was so close to being a catch and a fumble.
Yeah, because he turned and started running with that thing. It did run 5 seconds off the clock.
9 seconds remaining in the ball game. 24-21. This place is going to go bonkers if Hoover can hold on.
Well, and I'm still scared to death because I know they can score on any play.
Oh, I know. It could be a heartbreaker. The 4th-ranked team in the nation, trailing the Bucks by 3. Here's a pass play, pump fake, and he's going to look to throw. Down to 5 seconds. It's going to be caught at the shoe tops. Caught by Jalen Ward, who stepped out of bounds, stopping the clock with 3 seconds. 3 seconds remaining in the ball game. 24-21. This will be the last play of the game. With an empty backfield, they'll send 5 receivers. Sims out of the shotgun, takes the snap, and he's in trouble, and he throws it. It's a fumble, and this game is picked up
on the ground
at the 10.
He can throw it. Oh, no.
And now he's in the open field. This could be trouble for Hoover.
Oh, no.
And they can't get him, and what happened?
I'd have no idea what happened.
He must have stepped out of bounds on the far sideline.
Oh, my goodness. What a high school football game.
And the Bucks have won this football game. They are 10-0. They're the top-ranked team in the state now, having knocked off number 1. They're Region 3 champions. And what a game this has been.
Unbelievable.
24-21, the final score. And what a crazy way for the game to end, because running around back there, that was Pippins.
Listen, I thought Pippins was going to score. That guy, he's a little jitterbug. He's electric in the backfield. Oh, my goodness.
I could just see him running all the way to the end zone. But he must have stepped out of bounds, because all of a sudden everything stopped.
Whew.
What a football game.
Unbelievable.
Well, I don't know if there's words.
I mean, and Hoover needed an 85-yard drive to go score a touchdown to win, and did it against that defense. You know, I mean, obviously the asterisk, if you want to do that, is that Thompson's quarterback was out the entire second half, but Hoover still put up 24 points against this defense that had allowed 26 points all season long.
Well, 10-0, 7-0 in the region. They are the Region 3 champions. And on top of that, that means if they play Thompson again, it will be back here at the Met. That's
Absolutely.
big. That is so big.
Absolutely.
First time the Bucks have beaten Thompson since September 7th, 2018. So it had been a while. They had beaten Hoover 4 straight, 6 of the last 7 games. And what a celebration it was down on the field. Now the cheerleaders joining the team out on the field.
What a performance by Bennett Meredith. I mean, he was getting smoked on every play seemingly on that final drive, and he hangs in there, buys a little time, throws the ball all the way to the right sideline. The catch by Jabari Gaines, dragging his toes, senior to senior on senior night. Wow, what a finish.
You were talking about Meredith. Meredith ended up 22 out of 38. He had 1 interception, threw for 290 yards, and what was it, 3 touchdowns? 4 touchdowns? Well, look at the scoring. We had the field goal to start the scoring for the Bucks, so we can recap it for you. And we're going to be here for a while because traffic is going to be horrendous going and getting out of here. But the Bucks with 3 minutes, 40 seconds to play in the first quarter kicked the field goal, and that was after they had received the kickoff to start the football game and threw an interception, and then they got a stop on 4th down. So that was a big play in this game all the way back in the first quarter. So the Bucks then went down and scored on a 29-yard field goal by Peyton Argent. They came with 3:40 to play in the first quarter. That was significant just in itself because this team had only averaged giving up less than a field goal coming into this game. All season long, they had averaged 2.9 points that they had allowed.
Well, I believe you had your headset off there for a second, kind of sorting some things out with Rookie, but I mentioned right as the game ended, Hoover scored 24 tonight. They had given up 26 in the previous 9 games. I mean, amazing, amazing.
Well, that lead didn't last all that long because with 11:53 to play in the second quarter, McGee's took a handoff from quarterback and went 22 yards to give them the lead at 6-3. The extra point was good, and they led by a score of 7-3. The Bucks came back then and scored on a touchdown pass to Jabari Gaines, who had 2 touchdowns tonight. That was at 6:50 to play in the half, and the Bucks went up by a score of 10-7 on Argent's extra point. Then Thompson took the lead at 3:51 to play of the second quarter on a Connor Harrell pass to Amari Bolden that came from 32 yards, and the extra point made it a 14-10 ball game. So they were back on top. They stretched the lead out to 21-10 at the 1:55 mark of the first half, when Jalen Ward caught a 71-yard pass, perfectly thrown by Connor Harrell. The extra point made it 21-10, and that was all the scoring that they had. They did not score at all in the second half, and the Bucks in the second half got 14 points as Meredith threw 2 touchdowns, one to R.J. Hamilton from 25 yards. That came with 1:33 remaining in the third quarter, and then with 14 seconds to play in the ball game, Meredith threaded the needle, and I still would like to see that catch again. Everybody was yelling up here. I hope you knew what happened. I guess you figured out that Hoover scored, but it came from 8 yards out and caught by Gaines right in the corner, and he had to. Really, you only have to have 1 foot in high school, but he got both of them in, I think.
It looked like it.
And that was a 10-play, 81-yard drive, and the Bucks held on to win it 24-21. And my, oh my, what a football game!
Up in North Alabama, Sparkman was ahead 28-21. Huntsville scores a touchdown. They go for 2 and the win at the end of the game, unsuccessful. So Sparkman beats Huntsville, and in 2 weeks, Sparkman will be coming here to the Met to play the Bucks.
We'll look at some individual statistics now. The rookie will scroll up for us. Rookie Gage is our statistician. Mike Schmidt has been our spotter. The Bucks had 63 plays from scrimmage for 332 yards in total offense. Thompson 51 plays for 373 yards in total offense. Amari Williams, tough sledding for him tonight. He will not get over 1,000 yards during the regular season, but he still has one more game at least to play, and that will be the first round of the playoffs. And Amari had 19 carries for 53 yards. Amerson, 2 carries for 5 yards. Meredith ran the ball 4 times, ended up with minus 16, but that, of course, counts for some sacks, I believe, in there. But he had a big first down run in this ball game as well. In the passing department, we told you that Meredith was 22 out of 38. He threw 3 touchdowns for 290 yards, and he had 1 interception. R.J. Hamilton, good to have him back, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
10 catches for 150 yards and a touchdown. Gaines, 4 big catches for 2 touchdowns, total of 23 yards, so he made them all count. Todd Peters, 3 catches for 52, and K.J. Law, I thought he had more than 3 catches, but he had 39 yards, and the 3 that he did catch were big catches for sure. How about Peyton Argent? He had 4 punts tonight, averaging 38.8, and he was perfect on his extra points, as he has been all year long. No telling what would have happened. There's a lot of ifs and buts in any football game. You can say, well, if Amari Williams gets into the end zone, Hoover leads at halftime, or they're within 4 at halftime.
Right.
If Connor Harrell doesn't get hurt, what happens in that situation? He was 8 out of 9 passing for 181 yards and 2 touchdowns, so he definitely was missed in the second half. Sims was 3 out of 6, threw an interception, and he had 47 yards passing. Jalen Ward caught 4 passes for 129. Pippins, 4 catches for just 37 yards. Bolden caught a pass for 32 yards and a touchdown, and Pegues caught 1 for 20 yards. In their rushing, Pegues had 86 yards on 16 carries. Pippins had 6 carries for 36. Connor Hill ran the ball 4 times for 11 yards, and Bolden 3 carries for 8 yards. So those are the kind of the tail of the tapes for this football game. And, so many different big points and big plays in this football game, Nick. We could sit here and recap it for another 3 hours, but what an exciting football game it was, a thrilling game. And it felt that way from the first snap, the very first kickoff. There was an electricity that hasn't been in the Met for a long time,
absolutely. And, obviously the last season was kind of marred by COVID. The crowds were restricted. Never really got a big game atmosphere. And then, really haven't had anything of this caliber this season. But, tonight we knew it was coming. We've known it. It's kind of been the elephant in the room for 10 weeks. Everybody knew tonight was coming. Everybody knew who the opponent was. The game lived up to all the expectations, lived up to the billing. You hate it for Connor Harrell, the quarterback at Thompson. Hope that he's okay. It is kind of, a little bit scary, a little bit disheartening knowing that it was a wrist injury that kept him out of the rest of the game. Hopefully it's nothing serious, but that is a little scary to think about. The job of the Hoover offense against the Hoover defense in the second half, because the way that Thompson has played all season, Thompson is the kind of team that when they get a lead, when they get ahead, they can lose anybody on their offense because their defense has been so stellar. It doesn't matter who they lose. And for Hoover to be down 21-10 and to come back in the second half and score 2 touchdowns against that defense, right? And I could go through and look. they have probably only given up only 3 touchdowns the entire season before tonight, because Hewitt scored 9, Vestavia scored a touchdown, Gadsden scored a touchdown, right? And then Hoover comes out and scores 2 touchdowns in the second half against that defense. I mean, just the character of that offense, going out, making plays as needed, because there was a lot of things that went wrong for Hoover tonight too offensively, but the Bucks kept making plays, stayed in the game, and when it came down to it, it was Bennett Meredith to Jabari Gaines for the game winner.
As big a game as this was, and as big a win as it was, it gives the Bucks the Region 3 championship, home field advantage, and so on and so forth. Still going to have to play this team one more time, most likely, and then that becomes the most important game of the season.
Yeah, the only thing about that is if Harrell is seriously injured, and we are really hoping that he is not, because he's been such a great competitor and such a great high school football player. But the reality of the situation is the same thing that Oak Mountain faced tonight, right? Evan Smith is down.
Yeah.
Oak Mountain, that's a massive part of their offense, and they struggle. If Connor Harrell is not in, that's going to change the game a little bit for the Thompson offense. And now Thompson, after losing tonight, now they will host Florence next week, who out of Region 3, I don't think Florence is going to beat Thompson, but out of Region 3 down the stretch, they have been the team that's been playing the best. So who knows, you know?
Well, and you may recall, I don't know how many years ago it's been now, 4 years maybe, when Robbie Ashford went down in the Thompson game at Thompson. Hoover was going down looking like they were going to score. They were up, I think, at that point, 14, maybe 21. He goes down, and he's out for the rest
flips
of the
game,
season.
yeah, absolutely.
And then that flips the game. They come back and win the ball game if Hoover scores that touchdown. So, I mean, that's football. It's just the way it is.
It is. You hate to see those injuries, but, it's again, to me, the Harrell injury was huge, but looking from a Hoover perspective, the biggest thing was coming out and putting 2 second-half touchdowns against that defense, because that hadn't happened all season long.
Yeah.
And, if you're Thompson, your offense is electric, your offense is incredible, but their best unit is their defense. And they had their defense on the field with Hoover needing to drive 85 yards to win the game, and the Bucks pulled it off. The Bucks did it. They made the plays. So, nothing to feel bad about if you're Hoover. You don't apologize. You take the win. You go on, and you're happy about the performance.
All right, so we're waiting on a final from up north to see who Hoover will play.
Sparkman won. Huntsville scored a touchdown. They went for 2. They didn't get it. So Sparkman won 28-27. So Sparkman will travel to Hoover in 2 weeks.
So we're off next week, as we need a week off after this game. And in 2 weeks from tonight, we'll have the broadcast here. We'd love to have as many people show up for that game as we're here tonight. What a great crowd. What a great atmosphere. And we certainly appreciate those of you who couldn't make it out here tonight, who tuned in on the NFHS network or listened in on Mixler. Some of you may be listening right now, and we do appreciate you coming out to the Met here this evening. Well, what a ball game.
What a ball game. What a night of high school football. And another thing tonight, it was so cool to see so many people, from the Hoover community. There's so many people posting on social media that we're here at the game tonight. I'm getting messages from baseball players I used to coach. Hunter Ritchie is sending me a message. He says, great game and great announcing. He's fired up. Marlon Humphrey's tweeting about the game. Everybody was invested tonight, And again, this game carried so much weight, and it was just so fun to see the community of Hoover all kind of pulling in the same direction at the same time for this football team tonight.
Yeah, I was at the dentist earlier today, and they were talking about it in the dentist office, and they said that there had been a woman, I don't know if she was a mother of one of the players or what, but she was talking about how nervous she was about the ball game, and they were quizzing me about it, and it turned out to be exactly as I wanted it to be. I as an announcer, in this case, everybody knows we're announcing the games for Hoover and we're pulling for Hoover. If you're doing a game that's, say, a national game that you have not supposed to have any bias in it, you're just wishing for a close ball game, and that's what we got here tonight. And it got the ending that I was hoping for the Bucks. So with the win, the Bucks are 10-0, and with the loss, Thompson will drop to 9-1. They are also off next week, and they'll play the number 3 team.
Yeah, which is Florence.
And so that will be in 2 weeks. And then the possibility of them meeting in the semifinals. There'll be 2 games prior to that. But you got to take care of business now. You can't let this just suddenly be your state championship game. You still have to earn your way up to that state championship.
The other huge thing about winning tonight is I think that if Hoover was the 2 seed and James Clemens beat our 4 seed, Hoover would have had to travel to Madison to play James Clemens. So I think now by winning the region, I had to double check, but I think that Hoover is on the top of the bracket. So as long as they keep winning, they will pretty much be at the Met the rest of the way.
We know that if they do play Thompson, it will be here for certain.
I think in the second round, even if it would be Bob Jones beating Hewitt. If Bob Jones beat Hewitt, that game would be at the Met also. And obviously if Hewitt won, that game would be at the Met with Hoover being the region champion.
Well, Hoover led after 1 quarter, 3-0. They trailed at halftime, 21-10, as the Warriors scored 21 points, all in the second quarter. And we've talked so much about the defense of Thompson, but how about that Hoover defense did not give up anything in the second half against a team that averaged almost 50 points per ball game on the season. So